The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Hello and happy Monday. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to have our guest Emily on today and introduce her to you guys. But first, I just want to say to those of you who are watching live right now, I know this is normally not our time that we are on, but I appreciate you guys hopping on. If you are here with us, tell us in the comments so that we know. And for those of you that are following the Styled by JJ Boutique's daily challenges, today's challenge is going to be, if you're watching, if you say, hey, I'm here, I'm watching, hey, ladies, whatever you want to say, or if you watch the replay, type in replay. That way you get an entry into the boutique giveaway. So that's the challenge today. I haven't posted it today because I was traveling all morning, and here we are. So, like I said, I'm excited to have our guest on. Her name is Emily Trnka. And Emily, am I saying your last name right?
You are. Good job.
Okay. And I remember I put something together and I added a vowel, and you're like, nope, no vowel there. So
everybody adds a vowel.
It's
okay.
I love it. So Emily actually is from Minnesota. And we met through TikTok, and she is the founder of a super cool program called North of Normal. Some of you might know it as Moms of the Midwest. And so we're going to get into what North of Normal is, why she started it, what it's all about. And I think you guys are really going to like it, especially if you're a woman who is looking to make connections with other women in your area, and you just don't like normally have the activities or the I don't know, like the plans to put it together yourself. Emily does kind of all of that for you. So so Emily, talk to us a little bit about yourself, who you are, whatever you want to share about you personally.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on. This is a really cool opportunity, I think, to chat with a bunch of amazing women. And I, like you said, I am born and raised in Minnesota. I work as a speech pathologist during the day. And outside of that, I have found myself into the wonderful world of TikTok, which has allowed me the opportunity to really get to know a lot of women, not only in the Midwest, but in the United States as a whole. You know, what like Julia said, this started out as Moms of the Midwest, and I found out very quickly that that was a little bit too exclusive. And there were lots and lots of people who didn't necessarily fit this mold. And so in an attempt to be a little bit more inclusive, I wanted to make it, be named something that demonstrated that inclusivity. And it's really just about women supporting women, supporting the community, and creating spaces that are for women to be able to walk in, whether you're alone, with friends, whatever it may be. I want it to be welcoming. I want it to be safe. I want it to be encouraging. And honestly, it's a whole lot of anti-mean girl energy.
Love that. Too much meanness going on in the world today. And as women, like, we don't have any time for it. And if you are someone that is the mean girl, like, you're not welcome at Moms or North of Normal. It's just, I went to the first event that you had in Des Moines, and I was one of those women who did come by herself, and that is normally not something I would ever do. But you do, like, create that safe space where it's like, come as you are, even if you're alone. If you can, bring a girlfriend, great. But if not, it's totally fine. And you're there to meet other women and just make connections. And I had the best time. So
I'm so happy to hear that, because that was a really, really great time. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So part of this is, we are the Fashion and Shit Show Diaries. We like to start out by talking about our outfit of the day. And I know that right now you're a busy mom, and as am I. So I went casual today, and I just have one of our boutique sweatshirts on. It's cold here in Iowa. The sun is shining, though. We are all so ready for spring, which is the first day of spring, you guys, is this Friday, just so you know. And so, I went with something bright but yet comfortable. And because I was traveling today, I have a pair of sweatpants on. So I'm nice and cozy in this outfit. So Emily, talk to me about your outfit.
Yes. Well, I am going from my day job in scrubs to my bar job in a t-shirt and jeans. So I am also going comfortable, and both are great outfits that can get dirty. So
yes, there you go. Busy, both of us. I love it. Obviously, you're going from one job to another. You and I have that in common. We both have a daytime job and then do something on the side, and we're both moms. So I love that. I'm not alone in that.
Nope.
So, all right. And so you told us about North of Normal and, what it is. How long ago did you start Moms of the Midwest, which is now North of Normal?
That's a really great question. So Moms of the Midwest started completely unintentionally. I actually was having a conversation with a girlfriend who lives just outside of Des Moines. She was working with me at my day job, but ended up taking a position closer to home so she could be closer to her family. And we were on the phone talking about, just kind of how much we miss working with each other and how hard it is, especially across state lines, to continue to connect with people that are important to us. And I was like, oh my gosh, we should totally do like a big Midwest group. And she's like, oh my gosh, we should call it Mom Talk. And I was like, yes, except we don't want to be associated with Mom Talk, And so literally I got off the phone with her. I went into the corner of my office and I did a TikTok being like, hey, let's start this like Midwest mom thing. And all of a sudden it was like women were coming out of the woodwork. So September 2025 is when I posted that first TikTok, and things have really just kind of evolved from there. And a lot of it is just me moving with the group. So, there's a lot of people that are that are jumping in and want to be involved, and they want to see this grow, so that way it can be a little bit bigger than just, you know, a Midwest thing. And so I am just kind of going with the flow, and that has been really quite successful. And, you know, there's a lot of women in this country that want to be part of something that is positive, and it's amazing to connect with so many people who have a lot of the same desires and interests and just wants in their life.
Yeah. That is okay. So I didn't realize it. I mean, it's just what, 6 months, something like that.
It's pretty fresh.
Yeah. And the first meeting that you hosted was actually in Des Moines.
It was,
And
yeah.
what was that? January or February?
That was actually in January.
January. Okay. And how many different events have you put on total since then? Obviously, Des Moines.
Yeah.
We had one in January. What has happened since then?
So I'm actually going to back up a tiny bit. I did one event in 2025 in Bloomington, and it was very different than what I typically do, which is why I don't talk about it too much. But it was actually a women-owned market where we highlighted all women-owned boutiques and businesses in a place called Whirly Ball, which is a facility that has just like a bunch of games and food and has a bar. And so we had our own private space, and it was like a private shopping event for women.
Fun. Love
women,
this.
Yeah, it was women shopping women, and it was really incredible. And so that was a lot of fun. So we did that back in the beginning of December. The first event, like we talked about, was in Des Moines. And then I had another event in Minneapolis, and, you know, with winters in the Midwest are hard. So,
right.
You know, finding time and finding a good weather pattern to get people out of their houses has been a little bit of a challenge. But you know, there's another amazing event coming up on the 28th in Des Moines, and I've got time booked out in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I'm looking at Rochester, Minnesota, potentially Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So there's a lot of different places that, you know, we want to touch on. And so I'm excited to see what the warmer weather brings, because I think it'll bring more opportunity.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, we all, even though, you know, we're all from the Midwest and most of us have lived in our states for quite some time, where we should be used to this weather. We do, though, have a sense of hibernation in the winter. So not surprising. You just never know what the weather is going to bring. Obviously, you got 15 inches of snow yesterday. Des Moines got crappy weather. So yeah, it is hard to plan around. But come this spring, I definitely foresee women being more out and about. So
I hope so. And the events can be a bunch of different things. You know, they're not all the same events. And so I'm hopeful that we can, you know, cater to people's interests and hopefully get people out and in the sunshine, or even just to socialize.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so that first one that you had in Des Moines, I wasn't able, so it was like a Friday, Saturday thing. Friday was happy hour, and then Saturday was a brunch. I wasn't able to make it to the brunch, but is that typically how you like to run these events, like 2 days, or do you try and stick to one day?
It kind of depends. It really depends on the location. And a lot of it is, you know, me driving someplace. So it kind of depends on where is it, how far is it from where I'm at. I did find that the happy hour was a little more successful, just in that it was more laid back. And I think people really enjoyed that. So this is a learning experience for me too. You know, I'm not catering to what I want. I'm catering to what other people want. And so I'm learning how to do that. And, I think every event, and I'll say event as more of like a weekend, right? So whatever that time frame looks like, it could be one event, it could be two events, it could be, you know, whatever we want it to be. But I think making it as low pressure and casual as possible is the most fun for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I just love how you are listening to what the women are saying, like coming up with these ideas or, new places to check out, that sort of thing. It's
Hmm.
not it's not so rigid of here's the plan,
Right.
show up. You're kind of flexible in hearing what they want to do, to kind of make it happen. So I
Absolutely.
love that. Yeah. So, how do you find time then to do this with balancing everything else you have going on?
That is a fantastic question. And my answer will
Still trying to
change
figure it
every.
out?
Yep, still trying to figure it out, and my answer changes every day. It
Mhm.
depends on how much sleep I've had and how much caffeine is in my system. I will say that a lot of it has been building my TikTok platform, because that's where I've been reaching a lot of people. And
Mhm.
I will say that, some days are harder than others. Some days I'm like really like, yes, I want to do it. I want to put my heart and soul into it. And other days I'm like, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to.
Mhm.
And so um, there are times that I carve out. So, I look at my week as a whole, and typically it's my weekend time. I'm fortunately in a wonderful co-parenting situation with my ex-husband, and so I have my children 50% of the time. We have a lot of flexibility, and I actually kind of dove into this as a way to give myself something to do when I wasn't with my
Mhm.
children. Um,
Mhm.
and so I try to be as productive as I can on those days when I don't have them, um, all while still trying to manage, my job and side gigs. Because as we all know, being a single mom isn't the cheapest thing in the world. So
Mhm.
it's a challenge, but it is something that if I really want it to succeed, I'm going to put the time into it, and I'm going to carve it out in my day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And when you and I first met at that first meeting in Des Moines, I think you had said to me, "Are you a Leo?"
I Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did talk
so am
about
I. Yeah, yeah. And you're like, I just, I love to socialize. I love to be busy. Getting that creativeness
that.
out of yourself. So, do you think that that has a lot to do with kind of how you're wired and
Oh yeah.
why you do what you do?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
totally.
absolutely love my day job. I am super, super passionate about it, and I would never change anything about it. But
Hmm.
I also enjoy using different parts of my brain. And so, being able to leave my job and think about other things that are really more, I want to say this as like self-serving in a good way. In like this
Yeah,
fills my cup.
that's
Like I
okay to
really.
say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to fill my cup, because if my cup is full, then I have more to give to others. And I want to make sure that I'm doing that in a way that is, I don't know, productive, I think is the word that I like to
Hmm.
stick with. But yeah,
Hmm.
I'm similar to you in that, I can't really sit down very well. It's not something that I'm good at. I'm working on it. But it's a lot of that Leo energy, just it's
Hmm.
gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, right. Literally. Otherwise, it may not be pretty where it goes. So,
Yes, exactly, exactly. My coworkers at work are gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home. Just go do
right,
something else."
right. Oh, that's great. Well, I mean, the fact that you're managing everything and figuring out as you go, and like you said, putting being a little selfish and that, you need to find something that fills your cup so that you can give,
Yeah,
that to others, I think is huge. So I love that you found something that you is able to do that. And it's just getting started. I'm excited to see where it goes.
me
So
too.
um when okay, so you said you have one coming up in Lacrosse, one in Rochester, maybe Sioux Falls. Have you heard from people a little bit further from the
Yeah,
Midwest area?
I have. There are many, many women in my DMs asking, how can they be a part of this? How do they, they want to help, they want to do all these amazing things, which is exactly what I want. I want women to be like, yes, this speaks to me. But I'm also very cautious in how it's laid out because I want it to be successful for everybody. Yeah. And so, although I would love to jump to Montana, and I had a lot of interest in Alaska, actually.
Oh, wow.
But I want to make sure that I'm providing the right platform and the right foundation for these to be successful in those areas. And so being that the Midwest is home, I'm using it a little bit as a practice area where, I'm kind of working out some kinks and seeing what works, what doesn't work. And then hopefully, absolutely, I'd love to get this out into other states and get other people involved because obviously I can't be everywhere. But the idea is bigger than me. The idea is women all together. And so I want to make that available to people in a way that's easy to follow and still successful, but within the, I want it to be flexible for them. I want them to be, maybe someone in Idaho is going to have a different idea than I would have because I've never been there or something like that. And so I want to be able to provide that, but with some knowledge and expertise behind it. I don't want to just throw people into something that we don't know what's going to happen with.
Right. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So what is the easiest way for women to find out about where you're going next or how they sign up? Yeah. What do you?
Great question.
What should they do?
So we're right now, I am the most active on TikTok, and my username is choosing peace for me. The number for me is my username, but you can also find Emily Trnka. If you search that, I'm right there. I have a website and it's still technically under momsofthemidwestllc.com. But if you go to that website, it'll have all of the upcoming events listed and the ones that have all of the information already and are available to have tickets to purchase will be there. Otherwise, they're just kind of a placeholder to let you know when the next ones are coming and what that might look like. There's also an opportunity to sign up to be part of the newsletter, which that goes out. It was going out on a more regular basis in the fall. I'm kind of changing things a little bit. And so that'll start to be a little bit more frequent coming up here in the future as well. But that's where I will put all of the same information about what's coming up, what we're doing, what's changed, all of these different things. And a lot of times I really like to highlight different local businesses and people and things like that, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about too. It's women supporting women in the community and just making the world a better place. So I would say right now, TikTok and my website are the two places that would be the best to stay connected and figure out what's going on as we move forward.
Okay. Easy enough. And that, like she said, you can go find her under Emily Trnka. It's Trnka.
Yep.
Or did you say choosing peace for me?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the username.
Yep. Okay. Love that. Okay. So that's how you guys can find her on TikTok, but then also go to the website. And if you Google, because I know I've done this, just North of Normal, her website will come up too, even though it's under Moms of the Midwest LLC.
The URL still remains Moms of the Midwest, but the website is now North of Normal.
Okay. Yeah. I know everything that it takes to kind of get those things updated is not the easiest thing. So I get it, girl. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick little break here, and then we will be back with Emily to learn more. Stick with us, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
In the heart of Des Moines, one name has stood above the rest: Iowa Beef Steakhouse. Step inside, and you enter a place where tradition still matters, where the atmosphere feels familiar, warm, and unmistakably Iowa. Service isn't rushed. It's personal, attentive, and rooted in genuine care. And before the main event, the freshest start in the city, our signature salad bar, crafted every single day. Then comes the reason people have returned for generations. Iowa beef, hand-seasoned with pride. Guided by flame, forged by heat. This is where flavor becomes legend. Served with the same care it was crafted with. A meal meant to be remembered. And whether the night calls for bold, smooth, or something in between, our bar offers a selection as rich as our history, including the old-fashioned we've become known for. Balanced, timeless, unforgettable. And long after the fire cools, the glow of this place stays with you. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa, where Iowa comes for steak, done right. Let's be honest.
This isn't playing.
Let's be honest. Pizza is something almost every family enjoys. You're already grabbing one at the store, so why not choose the best tasting pizza that also supports a cause we all care about? That was the challenge behind We Will Pizza. Create the ultimate frozen pizza for Cyclone fans. Big flavor, bold toppings, and options for everyone, including gluten-free choices that don't sacrifice taste. And if you haven't tried it yet, the real MVP? The breakfast pizza. Perfect for early kickoffs, tailgates, or watch parties when Hilton Magic or Jack Trice Energy is calling. Every bite helps benefit Iowa State student athletes, so your game day spread does more than just taste amazing. It gives back. We Will Pizza. Made for Cyclone fans, built for tailgates, and ready whenever you are. We will, you will, Cyclones will.
If you're ready to refresh your wardrobe with pieces that feel effortless, stylish, and completely you, it's time to visit Styled by... If you're ready to refresh your wardrobe with pieces that feel effortless, stylish, and completely you, it's time to visit Styled by JJ Boutique. Julia Bradshaw and her team strive to be your go-to boutique for casual, boho, and chic clothing and accessories, helping you elevate your style one piece at a time. Located in Johnston, Iowa, Styled by JJ brings you trendy, high-quality styles that boost your confidence without breaking the bank. Whether you're dressing up for date night, brunch with friends, or just want to feel amazing running errands, they've got you covered. You deserve to look as confident as you feel. Styled by JJ Boutique, where style meets confidence. Visit today at www.styledbyjjboutique.com.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry that I couldn't get those darn commercials to run. I don't know what was happening, but like my little mouse just wasn't letting them go. So apologies for the technical difficulties, but thank you for sticking with us. We are back with Emily Trnka with North of Normal, and we were just talking about how women can find out about upcoming events that may be coming to their area. And this is something that is driven by women. So if it is something that you want, please let Emily know. And then she will, see if there's other interest, and I'm sure with enough interest, she will come to your area. So it sometimes does take you stepping outside of your comfort zone and just commenting on one of her videos or reaching out to her and saying, hey, I love what this is about. I want to be involved. So that's all it takes. I know I'm really glad that I saw one of her videos on TikTok, and I think it was maybe a week or two before the event was happening. And at first I was like, I don't really know if that's something that I, would do. And then finally I was like, F it. Like, what do I have to lose? Like, I love meeting new women. I love that sense of community. And I personally part of the reason why I finally decided to go to that first event is because my kids are now older and out of the house. And when they were growing up, they were very involved in extracurriculars and sports. And it was really easy to meet other parents and, socialize with them and that sort of thing. But then as your kids grow up and they're not involved in that stuff anymore, I mean, sure, you still have, your friends, but I I feel like my husband and I are at a weird age where we are empty nesters at 42. And a lot of our friends now have young kids, and yeah. So I was more looking to any age, chat with them, learn about, what they enjoy doing. I met somebody that, at least in Des Moines, she is a yoga instructor, and she also has a podcast. A real estate agent, someone who is getting like into the dating scene in Des Moines. So she was younger, but it was just, yeah, we were all sitting by each other and just, shared stories. And yeah, it was really fun. I'm so glad that I went. So yeah, put yourself out there, try something new, and um, you just never know what you can get out of something like this. So Emily did say that a lot of, what she is doing is on TikTok. So I was creeping your TikTok, Emily, and noticed you had like over 50,000 followers. So I'm like, how in the world, like, damn, girl, like, how did you get to over 50,000 followers? Is it all from this?
Pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah,
it
all started back in September. I had really, what kind of pushed it was I started doing what I call my state series, where I essentially call out women in each state individually. And, using the hashtags for the state has been really helpful to kind of like navigate and guide towards a certain, geographical spot. And so that really took off, and I've been doing like variations of that sort of, that's just what I have found to be the most successful in connecting with women in those areas. And, a lot of it is I must be talking to the right people. I must be saying the right things that are hitting home with people. And so it's been primarily this north of normal, moms of the Midwest. I've had a couple. I've started doing a few more things. I put some fake eyelashes on, and people really enjoyed that one. And so,
yeah,
there's a few things that I'm starting to throw in there that are a little bit more just me and what I like to do and stuff like
your
that.
dog.
And,
your
yeah,
dog.
my dogs. I do it strictly for fun. As far as, you can watch a million different TikToks on how do you get followers and things like that. And they'll always say, stay consistent and follow this, and this. And honestly, I do what I want when I want.
Yeah.
I didn't go into this with a goal in mind. I went into it just saying what I was thinking and how I was feeling, and it resonated. Well, and I think that is ultimately what got me here. And so, I've had no intention of doing TikTok full time or, becoming one of those content creators that does that. But, I certainly do enjoy connecting with women, and I'm finding a really large community of people who have the same, ideals that I do. And with that, we just build an army. And that's kind of what I've been saying is I want to build an army of women who want the world to be a better place, because we all know at the end of the day, women are going to rule the world.
Hey, yes, we will. And you're right. It is, obviously there are, different tips and tricks, that, people can do to, get in front of more people and get more followers. But, the fact that you're authentic in what you say, and sure, being state specific and using those hashtags helps. For you need that though, because it's, you want to know the next place that you need to go to, and how much interest there's going to be in those various states. So it just makes sense. But I foresee north of normal growing to, like you said earlier, something bigger than you, which is really cool. And so is there, obviously this all kind of started with a conversation between you and your friend, and it's just grown from there. But do you have any like specific goals in mind that you would like to achieve for North of Normal?
I do. I always think of like, what's my pie in the sky? Like, what is my like ultimate goal? I would love for each state to have its own chapter, and that, the conversations and the language is similar across the country. Like when you go to a North of Normal event, you know what you're getting. You know what kind of people you're going to be meeting, because what I have found is that good energy attracts good energy, and that's what I'm trying to bring to the table is good energy. And with that comes, it almost sort of like weeds the people who don't want to be there out organically, And so I want people to, I want people in Washington State to go to a North of Normal event and know that it's the background is going to be the same. The goals are going to be similar to that of someone going to an event in Florida, where the events are different. It doesn't have to be the same thing, but at the end of the day, it's all the same goal: women supporting women, positive energy, those kinds of things. And so I would love for this to take off. And I can't be everywhere, but I would love to do what I can to make it something for these other areas, because sometimes it just takes somebody stepping out of their comfort zone and being like, we're just going to do it. So here we are.
Yeah.
We're just going to do it.
And it does take an army. You can't be, I mean, as amazing it would be to, go to every state, like how cool would that be? Like
that would
you
be so
obviously
cool.
still have a life and you can still do it like over time. But, I love the idea of having someone step up in each of the states as like having their, chapter, but it all being driven from North of Normal. Here's what we stand for. Here's our vision and our mission. If you want to be involved, let's do it. So
absolutely.
That's very cool. All right, cool. Anything else that you have as far like any short-term goals? Like I know you talked about Moms in the West kind of being exclusive to the Midwest, branch out, but is there something that you want to see more short-term?
Oh, that's a good question. Short term, what I'm looking for is just kind of pushing through the mud and kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And I would hope that in the next year or two that that is a little bit more figured out to be able to more successfully branch out and, be a part of different states. There's a huge learning curve to all of this. And, it's going to be even a bigger learning curve when we talk about moving out of the Midwest region, because, I know Midwest. I don't necessarily have, a lot of background information on, where the fun spots are. What do people like to do? What is, what's trending right now? And so I think short-term goal would be kind of figure it out here and then kind of move the goalposts a little bit further every single time just to see how far we can take it.
Okay. Yeah. And you've got to start somewhere. You've done an amazing job. I mean, I was surprised to hear that you just kind of started this in September. So hats off to you. You've got it up and running, and that's not easy. I mean, it's somewhat easy to do it in your home state, because that's, you, like you said, like you know where the cool spots are, you kind of know the people who may show up, that sort of thing. But to take it outside of your state is very cool. So I just, really appreciate everything that you're doing. And even, well, number one, just bringing women together in a safe place that, no judgment, just come as you are, make connections. It's not anything, super formal. but then also like just supporting businesses, whether it's, you know, at the restaurants you go to or the events you put on, or, you know, that sort of thing. It is really cool that, you know, you're bringing that small business side of it in as well, and supporting, you know, those local businesses. So that's amazing.
I always try to plan an event at a local business rather than like a franchised business, because I think that just even going, even if it's just going to dinner, it's still supporting that local business and still
exactly,
you know, bringing it home. That's important.
Yep, exactly. All right. Well, I cannot believe that 40 minutes has already gone by, and I know that you have a busy day ahead of you. So we always end the show just talking about the chaos or the most recent shitty thing that has happened to you. So can you think of anything that has been just chaos in your life, or something that you've recently dealt with where it's like, oh, nope, it was a shit show behind the scenes, but I put on a pretty face and made it happen. Anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, so I have 2 dogs on top of having 2 children. And one of my dogs is a 2-year-old golden retriever. And you know, golden retrievers, they're babies for a very long time. And my golden decided to start eating more things. And a lot of it came from, it just was really cold outside. We didn't get to go out as often. He was a little bit understimulated. And so we ended up finding that he had eaten 3 pairs of socks, a couple of my kids' toys, you know, the green grass that you put in a fake plant to make it look like moss.
Yeah.
That got stuck. And that's why he kept trying to eat everything, was trying to push it down. And so we went for an entire week of like vomiting up all of these things. Finally, he ended up going outside and taking care of his business. The entire time I was like, I can't leave this dog alone. I don't know what to do. Like, I was just like beside me. I'm like, do I take him to the emergency? I don't know. But we figured it out. We dealt with it. I put my calm face on, and I was like, you're eating, you're breathing, you're drinking. I'm okay.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I would have freaked out.
Oh, the amount of cleaning I had to do in my house was unreal.
Yeah. One or two, I would have, yeah, that would have been hard. Good for you. And I'm so glad your golden is okay.
Yes, me too.
That can be very scary. And that you didn't have to like go to the vet and have x-rays and like have that bill. Like that just stresses me out.
Yep. They're
surgery.
So expensive. I mean,
it could have been
so expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As you were talking about that, I was like, maybe that's what's going on with one of my dogs right now. He's not chewing things. He's not eating things. He's just chewing on things. I mean, one, he is a puppy, but he's got to our baseboards. He recently took over a rug and one of our dining chairs. And yeah, I'm like, and as you were talking about just not being, you know, stimulated enough, it's been cold and we haven't been getting out as much. I'm like, maybe that's what his deal is. And that's probably on me, that I need to be better about just taking him out. But, that's stressful.
It's a challenge. It's hard.
Yeah. But no excuses. I need to make time for my dogs since they are my children at home right now. I was trying to think of a chaotic thing that has recently happened to me. And I mean, other than Loki chewing on things, like we did just get home this weekend and found a rug that he had been chewing on. I would say like traveling right now has been really chaotic for a lot of people. TikTok had me so scared that I was going to be stuck in Austin, and everybody was talking about how the Austin airport, like the TSA wasn't going to be easy to work with, and you need to get there 3 hours early. We did have our first flight this morning at 5 a.m., which means we woke up at 1:15. So we did a Sunday fun day, and then we were back at the hotel by I think like 7 p.m. is kind of when we got back. Showered, went to sleep probably around 9:30 or 10 p.m. And then, woke up at 1:30 to go to the airport, or 1:15 to go to the airport.
So tired.
I was beyond, beyond. And, just being busy every day, it was long days of just being out and about. And it was so nice there in Austin. It was 90 degrees yesterday. So we were like out enjoying the nice weather. It was a long travel day, and then had a layover in Chicago for at least 3 hours, and then sat on the runway for an hour before our flight eventually took off to Des Moines. So, but we're here now. It's a new week. And if you are traveling, just be patient with other people. Everybody's stressed out. Thankfully, nothing dramatic happened around me. There were some moments where I could tell people were getting a little escalated and heated, and taking it a little bit out on the workers, but just be patient with them. Like it's not their fault.
And they're not getting paid right now. So on top of it,
exactly, they're there.
They
like
they don't want to be there.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I felt so bad for some of them. And I was one of those people that had to stand in line because my husband and I weren't seated by each other for our second flight. So and I'm just like, it's fine. Like, it's okay. Like the lady felt bad, but I'm like, it's whatever. So anyway, if you are traveling, especially with it being spring break week, please be patient with everybody else as well as the workers, because they don't have to be there. They are not getting paid, a lot of them. And just be patient. So Emily, thank you so much for coming to talk to us about North of Normal. Again, if you are listening, go find her on TikTok, go to her website, check where she is going to be. Be afraid to set up for an event. And it makes it so easy to just show up, and you will have people to talk to. You will feel welcomed. I went to an event all by myself, and it was amazing. So I highly recommend you putting yourself out there. So any last words that you want to say?
Yep, I was going to say, those of you in Des Moines on the 28th, we would love to have you join us. We have a few fun things up our sleeves. So if you get your tickets by Saturday, I can get all of the counts in. It's going to be a blast. So
yes, let's do it, Des Moines. Come on, buy those tickets. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us at this new time on Monday. 2 weeks from now, we'll be back at our normal time at 7 p.m. Huge thank you for Emily for being here and talking to us today. And thank you to our sponsors and to Three Beards Media. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Talk to you all later.
Thank you so much, Julia. And thank you, everybody. It was so nice chatting.
Yes, you're welcome. Talk to you later.